Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Helix. Today on the Helix, we'll be talking about more Theros, and this is going to be our last look at Theros before pre-release. So, let's get started. Steam Mercury is fact or fiction, but reverse, in the fact that you split the piles instead of your opponent, and then your opponent chooses which pile goes to your hand, and which one goes to your graveyard. I think that Steam Mercury is going to be a card that control players are going to love, and we're going to be very happy with it for the next standard season. Next card is Curse of the Swine, which turns all your opponent's dudes into bacon. But hey, if you don't want that field of delicious bacon to go to waste, you can always tap Ratchet Bomb and blow them away. Chain to the Rock makes a cheaper Journey to Nowhere for the Boros mages. And now with all these hard to get rid of creatures, Journey to Nowhere might be the perfect card, but Chain to the Rocks isn't the only way to get rid of a hard to budge permanent, but Detention Sphere is also here to help us get rid of those stubborn cards. With all that white mana on the field, Devotion might be an important thing to think of when adding God to the Sun to your deck, along with some other cards, such as his Sphere, and Blind Obedience, because you're getting very close to making him a creature. Vigilance and spitting out a 2/1 isn't half bad either. Detention Sphere will also help with the devotion of Thassa, but Jace being the only other planeswalker, or permanent that you'd want for her, means that she's lacking a little shy of being a creature, which is unfortunate considering her Scry 1 and activated ability are very good. But I wouldn't put Thassa or the other gods down too soon, as we have not yet experienced how to play with these guys, and they might be more readable than we think. While we're still on the tangent of control, Dissolve is an excellent counterspell, which teaches us that Wizards has figured out that at 3 mana, a counterspell plus X thing is goodness, and we're happy with that equation, as they do make good counterspells that we're all happy to play. But I guess it doesn't matter too much, because after Pillar rotates, Voice of Resurgence is going to rule the format and shut down even the Jund decks. But Wizards has hope for us in the form of Anger of the Gods. This card not only makes a great answer for Voice, but all Yellow creature decks run around, as 3 seems to be the magic number as far as damage dealt to the field in order for a kill spell like this to be good. Rolling Timbor we saw last format was a good card, but it didn't quite make the cut for lots of decks. But I think if this card was in the current format, that we would see even more dominance of Jund. But I'm sure that all his control players will be happy to see this to deal with all the Voice of Reassurance decks running around after rotation. Stepping into aggro a little bit, this scout shows us what Wizards can do with Bestow. As for 3 mana, a flash 4/2, Bestow 5 is a great card, and this is going to be a really good and interesting card to see in the Domri decks, and I'm curious to see if it makes the cut into a lot of them. As Witchstalker, which is also at 3 mana, might just barely outpace it with the players. But in Modern, the Murder King might make Zombies a powerful deck, which either vials it into play, and then sacrifices Gravecrawlers, brings him into play, and then puts Gravecrawlers back into play, and then shoots Gravecrawlers and himself at players. Along with Graf's Messenger and other great zombies, this could be a powerful deck, and could see a great appearance in Modern. And it might just be the card that makes Aether Vial a powerful card yet again in Modern. Moving back to Standard, we've got a new card in the form of Lightning Strike. Okay, Searing Spear 1.0 will be taking the place of regular Searing Spear, and we'll all be happy with it, because it's basically the same card. Speaking of new card, Hero's Downfall is an instant speed way to kill creatures and planeswalkers. Although deriving from 2 other cards that we saw in the last format, Murder and Dreadbore, it's still going to be interesting to see that ability on instant speed. Well, that's it from the Helix this week. We didn't cover all the cards I wanted to from Theros, but we covered a good amount of them, and I'm really happy with this set. I can't wait to play with it at Friday nights and Thursdays. Well, see you guys later. Bye, and as always, Jesus loves you.